Not a bad way to end the regular season in girls lacrosse. The Northwest Suburban Conference title comes down to this one tonight at Champlin Park. It is Maple Grove and Champlin Park, a matchup of top 10 teams. And as we said, the Northwest Suburban title on the line. The winner takes the title outright, both undefeated in conference games. I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, Maple Grove's been at a pretty high level these last few years. And Champlin Park, a younger group that's kind of come up together. And right now they're kind of at the peak of their game. This has been one of the best seasons that they've ever had. And they really want to show tonight that they are capable of beating a team that's been one of the best in the Northwest Suburban.
Well, their 12-1 record really says a lot about them, and they've beaten some pretty decent teams here, and they've beaten them fairly soundly, Jay. They have been in double figures with the exception of one loss to Wayzata, which was kind of an anomaly for them. This could actually be two undefeated teams playing, and but both have similar stats. There isn't a clear stats winner here. They're both dead even on a lot of stuff.
It's important for the conference championship, obviously, but also to get you really sharpened and fine-tuned for the playoffs. They're not in the same section yet. They're going to be coming up, but I think both teams just kind of want to see how do we match up against another team that's similar to our level.
Oh, this is a perfect game for going into the sections for both these teams. They want to play somebody that's decent. They don't want a 10-0 or a 12-1 type score. They want a close game to see what they got and how the kids adapt to a tough team playing. And both these teams play pretty good defense. I'll tell you, it's going to be tough to score.
Let's talk about key players to watch for in tonight's game, starting with the visiting Crimson and Ella Olson. Heck of a hockey player and also a very good lacrosse player. And you see the kind of season that she has had for Maple Grove, a strong player, good shot. Going to be tough to stop.
36 goals, a lot of goals. Jay, I'll tell you that right now. She's really carried them. I mean, the next two have 28 and 25 apiece, so she's by far the way, their top player and the top scorer, and I would expect her to lead the Crimson right now.
And for Champlin Park, one of that strong junior class and a captain, Annabelle Johnson. Look at the numbers she's been able to put up. And last year, Maple Grove threw a lot at her, really trying to take her out by face guarding her with one player. Interesting to see if they go to that tactic again, but either way, Annabelle is going to be a big factor in today's game.
Well, you see that number in 23. It actually, Maple Grove sees it as a target right now, and they're going to map her big time. But the big one here is the second number, 32 assists. Go ahead and go after. She can get rid of the ball into somebody in the scoring position. I love seeing that stat right there. That's beautiful. That's a team player right there.
And her coach and father, Jeff Johnson, said maybe more so than last year, we have a lot of other players that on a given night will step up. We have a good balance, and he feels pretty good about their ability to score from a few different spots. And again, eager to see what his team does, though, against this Maple Grove team that has had a good last couple of seasons and defeated them last year, as we saw, by a 9-4 score. Well, a perfect night here as well, and we are just about ready for playoff time. But first, one last thing to be decided here, the Northwest Suburban title. It is Maple Grove and Champlin Park Girls Lacrosse next here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all three of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
And welcome back to Champlin Park High School, the kind of night that we were waiting for at the beginning of the spring, playing through the awful weather that we dealt with some. It didn't seem to impact lacrosse schedule too much. Obviously, they play through a little bit of rain and whatnot, so they didn't have quite the issues that softball, baseball had. Sunny and about 70 here for tonight's face-off. It was much warmer, actually, yesterday, so I think probably a little more to the liking of the players who were out running around here. It was probably a little warmer than they would have liked last night. Well, it kind of became evident down the stretch run of the regular season that this one might be the game that decides the conference. So I think both teams have been looking forward to it. Obviously, it's a pretty nearby rival, and I want to see what they can do as they go head-to-head here tonight.
Well, they've had a pretty similar schedule here. They've gone through it pretty well, and both teams just can really score goals. And this should be an interesting game. It should be a high-scoring game decided by 1 or 2 goals from looking at the stats and how they played and who they played and how they ended up playing them.
Yeah, both have, kind of mostly ripped through the conference, with the exception of Elk River gave them both really good games. And but other than that, they generally have just kind of taken care of business in all the other contests that they've had. And we see that we were about ready to go, and then realized the net might have had a little bit of an opening in it there, so they're trying to do their best to get that all fixed up. And obviously that could become a factor if a ball sneaks through it and you don't really, you can't tell. So they got to make sure everything's all good to go there.
Well, they'd have to come up here and check the replay, my gosh, and that won't happen. So
boys teams playing this evening as well over at Maple Grove. Crimson boys also having an outstanding season.
Now they're playing for a conference championship tonight, along with the girls. Could be a boy-girl conference championship in lacrosse here for Maple Grove.
Champlin Park trying to show that they've come far enough and fast enough that they could change that around. And Coach Johnson was saying, they kind of gained some confidence by beating a few of the teams that had beat them last year. Looking at teams like Armstrong and Andover, teams that that they've historically had a little bit of trouble beating, but have been able to beat so far this year. And he's coached a lot of these girls for a number of years, so he's kind of seen this wave coming for Rebels lacrosse.
Well, they've done very well this year, and the one thing I like, Jay, they got 8 players with 11 or more goals on this team. I mean, they spread it out. You just can't focus on one person. Although Annabelle Johnson has really stood out, especially with the assists. She's got more than double the assists of anybody else in the team.
Haley Karate, I was asking, is this as good a team as you've had here? And she mentioned the 2016 and 19 team said, we're on par. We're similar to those type teams. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they had some state tournament teams, and but being moved into Section 5, I think, kind of skews a little bit. They might have been, possibly good enough a couple of these last years as well, but you have a team like Benilde in your section, makes it a little bit harder. And we found out tonight, too, that Champlin Park will be also moving into Section 5 next season. So this will become not only a conference game, but a section opponent for Maple Grove and Champlin Park in future years as well. So it kind of takes on that double significance in that scenario.
Yeah, as it stands right now, both teams probably should be number 1 or number 2 in their section, most likely number 1.
You see both at 11-0 in league play with Andover, Elk River, and Centennial. Somewhat distant second or make it third, I guess, at 8-3, and then see the bottom group in that Northwest Suburban. There's a fair amount of difference between the top and bottom in this sport. So it looks like the net is ready to go, and we are ready to face off here. And off the draw, Annabelle Johnson controlling here for the Rebels as they'll get first possession. Megan Peter. Again, good balance really for both these teams this year. I mean, yeah, you have your top guns a little bit, but here's an opportunity shot from Elena Rail, goes wide. It'll be Rebels possession. Emma Crater in goal for Maple Grove.
She's having an excellent year. She's 10-0. Got a 3.10 save percentage. Or, I'm sorry, 5.40 save percentage. Goals against, 3.10.
After the turnover, Maple Grove looking to counter. Sosie Van Wyk.
Well, in a game like this, the turnovers are going to be really critical. Both teams have records indicate they don't turn it over too much, but yet, boy, in a game like this when it's really tight, you never know what's going to happen.
Olsen will drop it back out. Rebels will throw a little double. Olsen receiving that pass. And now she'll get an opportunity from the free position here. Olsen trying to bounce one in. Ooh, and
nice
the recovery made there by Paige Hagenbart, the freshman goalie for the Rebels. Lost sight of it briefly, but she blocked it and then pounced on it. As a twin sister playing out on the field as well. Reese Hagenbart. Work it back here to Ehrlichman, and she will give it off to her goalie, Paige Hagenbart. Another look at that last save as Olsen trying to bounce that one home.
Well, she did a nice job covering that side of the net, and then when it got away from her, she was still on top of it. Good play by the Champlin goalie, Paige Hagenbart.
Ooh, a nice step in and steal there for Maple Grove by Ella Edstrom. Patience here from Kudla. Flicked out front,
beautiful.
Shot and a goal. Olsen that time getting the assist as she's able to return that pass to Sosie Van Wyk. And the sophomore buries it for the Crimson, and they'll lead it 1-0.
17th assist for Ella Olsen there, giving her a 53rd point. So Van Wyk with her 29th goal of the year. You see a nice pass in front there, got her in a minute, she grabbed it and she just took her time and put it away. That's tough for a goalie to make a save on that.
So Van Wyk, the sophomore, getting the goal here, and Maple Grove will take a 1-0 lead. You could just see kind of their eyes light up that the play that they had designed worked out the way it did. The timing was there, and those kind sometimes excite you even more than just if you make a great individual play.
Well, you always like it when a plan, comes out well on that. And when you know you can run a play against the team, that gives you a lot of confidence too. Are they going to be able to stop it? We'll see.
They get it to Olsen here. A little too much traffic though, so she backs it out. Pass flicked across, turnaround try, and it is in. A nice shot there as it's buried by Riley Dunn, the freshman, and Maple Grove quickly up 2-0.
Boy, they're working that middle, Jay, right in that slot area. Boy, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, but man, they are just working it to a T. Comes through. Back again, one last pass, and she makes a nice swivel turn, and it gets it into the lower part of the net. Boy, just a beautiful play. Good swivel.
So the Rebels find themselves in a 2-0 hole. Annabelle Johnson up the left side here.
I would imagine so. A black jersey is going to be right by number 23 pretty much the whole game. So far, they've shut her down pretty good.
Lauren Schindelbeck will give it off there to Engstrom. Rebels wanting to get a good possession here and get an opportunity. Instead it bounces away, and Crater coming up with it. And now Maple Grove looking to counter. Knocked away though, and Johnson up with it, and they'll quickly go back the other way now. Megan Peter. Peter getting a step to the outside, but then turned away. Oh, floats it out front, shot and a goal. Ella Engstrom scoring on the pass from Peter, and the Rebels needed that one. They are on the board.
Boy, nice job getting in the middle too, just taking the playbook by Maple Grove there. You see the roll the boat type thing they got going on with the Rebels, but boy, that was a pretty goal. Nice setup. Yeah, it's kind of nice, Jay. You look at the records of both these teams, and you wonder, they've gone through the season pretty good. Now you're seeing what? They just have nice set plays here. Look at that. She hesitates, brings it back, finds the slot open here. Bang, boom. Just pretty.
Goal number 20 on the year, too, from Engstrom. She did a nice job of kind of finding the seam a little bit in the defense there, too, to receive that pass.
Yeah.
It wasn't, all that congested in front of the net. She just kind of slid in there nicely. I think that was an important one, Dan, to answer for Champlin Park, just to show Maple Grove, okay, this is not going to be easy.
Well, you're on your home field, too. You just don't want to, you give up a 2-0 lead, and it's kind of like, wait a minute, we got to get this turned around quick here. But nice job on them. They're a good team. They're not going to get swamped down.
Tacking off that left side again. Nice block on that pass as Peter tried to go out front with it again.
That was a nice block. That's really hard to do with that small basket. A goalie can do a much better job, obviously, but boy, good play.
Swing it out to Edstrom. Edstrom with some speed up that right side, and then a very nice on-target pass there to Van Curler.
Boy, good patience shown by the Crimson here, too. They knew they didn't have the numbers, and they just pulled it back, and now they're setting up. See if they can execute another one of their scoring plays here.
Good luck takes the return pass. A little bit of traffic there, but that one got through, and then right back to Kudla. Defense covered up pretty well. Looked like for a moment she was wide open, but didn't quite have time to squeeze the shot off there.
Yeah, the slide came from both the middle and the right-hand side there. Nice play by the Rebels to shut that down. Maple Grove showing a lot of good patience here, moving it around as much as they can.
Little turnaround try, and it is in as Van Wyk will get her second of the evening there. Did a nice job receiving and then turning her shoulders and buries it for, again, her second goal of the night, and it'll make it 3-1 Crimson.
Second player for the Crimson to get to 30 goals. That was her 30th. Boy, nice play too, Jay. They just set that up beautifully. They know where they want to go with it. Right there. And she swivels real good and finds another spot. She goes to the opposite side this time from the last time she scored.
You can see that she kind of had the defender where she wanted her. Like, she felt like she was in good position, but then just rotating with the shoulder, and then had the reach to get around her. So Van Wyk will get her second of the evening, and Maple Grove saying, okay, well, we saw you get that one. We're going to come right back and get one of our own.
We'll see if the Rebels can answer here.
Johnson dropping it off to Engstrom. Johnson trying to put it out front, but a lot of traffic there. Recovered, though, by the Rebels. Good work by Rail.
Boy, they're not letting anything in the middle, though. Crimson defense is really tough in there.
Another block pass. Winds up with Crater.
Boy, good ball movement here by the Crimson. They're just moving it up the field automatically.
Oh, and right down low, but that one is denied.
In the crease.
Yeah.
Boy, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, nice save. What a beautiful, nice play there by the goalie. Just nice. Man.
Ooh, Olsen gonna win that ball back.
I think it's fair to say the Crimson are being fairly aggressive here. I think they get what this game's all about. It's for the conference, man.
Coughlin carrying it here. We'll drop it back over to Dunn. Dunn gets the return pass. Now floats it out front. Turnaround try is good. Wow. That was not in Olsen's possession very long before it was in the back of the net. And Ella Olsen showing why she has as many goals as she does this year, but also a great pass to set it up.
Well, just moving into space, seeing where the open spaces are, but that was all generated by, Maple Grove's ball movement here, just the amount of passes and stuff that they put together on this. And just found her standing there, and all she had to do was swivel.
Boy, no wasted motion.
Here's the pass. Boom. Puts it in the net. She's like, yeah, okay. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm a gunslinger.
Yeah, it does. She does kind of give the vibe of just that's what I expected was going to happen when I got the ball.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, you and I covering all these sports. The kids know who when they're good. They do know that. There's no question about it. It's just a sense of confidence that they have to have and makes it part of their personality.
So a good start on the road here for the Crimson as they build a 4-1 lead.
Their ball movement, Jay, has just been impeccably good.
Yeah, no hesitation either. I mean, they're not taking a moment to think where's the next pass going to go. They're just acting on instinct and have the field space pretty well.
Yeah, they can tell where the open spaces are, and they move toward them, and it's in the middle where they want the shot to be taken, and they're flowing really good. But that's why they're 12-0.
Another good opportunity here, and it'll be another goal for the Crimson as it's put away by Leah Muscatello. And the lead grows here for Maple Grove.
26 goal for Muscatello. Just a nice play. They're being aggressive. They're going after it, man. I'll tell you, they kind of understand what this game's about.
Went with the bounce shot that time. The defenders, they were both getting there, but not quite quick enough to deny that shot. And I think Champlin Park is going to use a timeout. Fair to say not the start that Jeff Johnson and his crew had in mind coming into tonight. There's a lot of game to be played, but Maple Grove so far has certainly had the better of things. contrast there in that shot. Maple Grove, the players, they were not quite as close to Champlin Park Coach Johnson as it looked from that shot in the end zone side, but a contrast in who is happier at the moment. Certainly, I love that shot. It almost looked like they were gathered around him, but it was just an optical illusion. They were obviously 20 yards away or so. Here come the Rebels. And that one pass. Again, they've had a little bit of trouble with turning it over when they've gotten into potential scoring territory, too. Muscatello had that one denied, and here comes Peter. Rebels trying to quickly counter now. Reese Hagenbart, but the defense got back, and they didn't really have numbers there, so a smart decision, I think, to pull it back for her.
Well, I like the fact that Crimson didn't even hesitate. They switched directions real quick and got back fast. You know, despite the score, Jay, they still got a lot of respect for the Rebels. The Rebels have put up big numbers this year, and so they know what's going on.
Maple Grove quickly countering here with Muscatello. Down low to Olsen. She'll drop it off. Oh, boy, look at that passing. Olsen, unselfish as could be there, could have definitely taken that shot herself, but instead will drop it off, and that's been maybe the biggest highlight goal of the night so far for the Crimson.
You can't tell that Coach Garotti's really kind of fired up about that. That's just the way you draw it up. They've had some great goals here, just some super passing, ball movement, finding the right player. Boy, that was nice.
Van Curler, the recipient here on the feed from Olsen.
And they made no mistake about it.
That one coming off 1 minute after Muscatello's goal, so.
Okay, that's interesting. I wonder why Coach Garotti's looking at her watch.
Van Curler, 13th goal of the season. Rebels now looking to work it up the left side here. Engstrom. A lot of traffic. Maple Grove pretty aggressive defensively.
Yeah, they're double and triple teaming.
Oh, here's a great opportunity and a goal low for Peter. Made that one count.
That's when that triple and double teaming is going to catch you right there. They got to down below and beat both the triple and the double team. And got a clear shot. Beautiful play.
Rebels got a little celebration of their own going there as Megan Peter. That was a nice goal.
Man.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, though, too. They made Maple Grove pay for being real aggressive, doubling, tripling, too. And you see Crater coming out to try to steal that pass. And once she didn't get it, then it was like, uh-oh.
It's kind of like the goalie in hockey going out to the blue line, you know. It's good play, though. She evaded her and did a nice job. Yeah, they needed that one, Jay.
Yeah, Peter didn't panic at all, just shoveling that one in. And Maple Grove, in hindsight, Crater might be thinking to herself, yeah, I might have gambled a little too much there. I mean, if you get it, it looks good, but if you don't.
I better stay inside the circle area here. My gosh.
Again, although it's looked very good early for Maple Grove, we still got a long way to go here. Champlin Park capable of coming back.
They just showed what they can do. They just got to move the ball. That's all. And knowing that Maple Grove's going to come out and be aggressive with the double and triple team, well, that'll give them some openings.
Crimson now on the move. Slipped through Kudla there, but she'll try and track it down. Had a little trouble getting that ground ball. Now did. Coughlin.
Good job just settling it down and let them get into their offense.
And finding the cutter, and there's another goal put away there by Muscatello. Nice spacing again for the Crimson, and they found Muscatello cutting.
Boy, I think they got this cutting thing down, Jay. Sliding through into an open spot there, and they're just looking for it and setting it up really well. It's like a machine.
Well, and I was just going to say, they've been efficient.
Yeah.
Almost all of their good setups have gone in the net. And I don't mean to say that the goalie isn't playing well. It's just they have done a very good job of when there's an opening or when there's a chance of making it work.
Yeah. Gosh, they got it to her right before she got into the double team, and I don't care how good a goalie you are. That's a tough shot to stop, man. That's right on top of you. Oh.
Fortunate one there for Maple Grove off the draw, and they'll get right back to the attack here. Olsen trying to get it back, but no go as Rail takes it for the Rebels instead. Up the left side, here comes Peter, who scored that second goal for the Rebels and set up their first. Annabelle Johnson. Schindelbeck trying to get it, but again, that's happened to them on multiple occasions. Maple Grove, give them credit, but they've mucked things up and gotten a piece of those passes.
Whereas Maple Grove, like you said, is very efficient in their passing.
Here they come again. Opportunity. Ooh, and this time it is won by Hagenbart as she denied Van Wyk.
Boy, Van Wyk got in there real easy, though, boy. I got to shut that middle down. They need to bring another defender down and cover that circle area.
Probably the best save of the game so far right there, even though, you, like you said, you still had to be impressed with the setup for Maple Grove.
Oh, they're playing up to their rating.
That pass behind Van Wyk, one of the few times that they've misfired. Here's a look at that last setup, and then great save, though, too. Ooh.
Boy, she got that basket out there real quick, and she stepped toward the shooter instead of backing off. She went right at her. That's the proper way to make that defense.
This pass getting away, though, and here comes Maple Grove right back. Quick transition, and here they go.
In a way, I'm kind of liking this in the viewpoint that Maple Grove is really showing some superior play. You know, most of the power in girls lacrosse is down on the west side with the Wayzettas and all that group, but and Benilde, but they look pretty good right now. They look like they can play with those teams. Oh,
out front, and there is another great goal. First, the pass coming from Jade Isaacson, and she finds Van Wyk for the goal.
Van Wyk is just having a field day here. My gosh. You see the nice pass here coming across, and Van Wyk, she's not standing still. She's getting herself open. She's finding the open spots, and when she gets it in there, she makes no mistake. It's going in the net.
And she didn't let it bother her that previous one got saved either.
Yeah. Oh, no. We'll give the goalie her due. If she can stop 1 out of 5, I'm okay with that. So she gets the first hat trick here. Maple Grove's build up a 6-goal lead.
Run down there by Schindelbeck.
Well, Chaplin's got to be careful now. No more. They just can't do any more unforced turnovers, for heaven's sakes. Take your time, move it around.
Ehrlichman. And almost giving it up here. Olsen trying to dig it up, that ground ball, and now Will.
Does. Boy, that's got to be working on the Rebels' psyche right now. They just can't move the ball up at all right now. Maple Grove is just smothering them.
And work it back on this left side. Looked out front. Oh, and
ouch.
That one hurt. Addie Dale. And that call going against Maple Grove. They're shooting that one into her by Van Wyck. Oh.
Ouch. That hurts. Got a little red mark. Ow. I want to tell you, folks, that does hurt. Oh, my gosh.
And not legal for the shooter to do that, of course, in girls lacrosse. So Van Wyck sent off.
One of the very few times you'll see a girl get sent off in girls lacrosse.
Ehrlichman trying to get a little step up that right side, but you're right, they're not having an easy time moving the ball upfield at all. Maple Grove has done a good job choking things off. Now the Rebels get into offensive position. Miley Jurasek.
Oh.
Man, couldn't be in control of that one as Gunderson trying to get control but couldn't, and then Maple Grove though turns it over.
I guess justice serves itself sometimes, but boy, you got an extra man and you just want to, boy, you just can't throw it away like that.
Annabelle Johnson. Stick check up high on her. They've done a good job on her again.
She was trying to set up the left side there, Jay. They just they covered it really well.
Peter with the shot, but Crater the save, but then her pass is knocked down. Not legally so, though. A really nice save there.
Yeah. She's really active. She's really active in the net. That's good. She isn't just standing there. She's moving, and that gives her an opportunity to get the basket on the ball. Done a really nice job.
Johnson on the move here for CP. Down low to Peter, and that one is blocked. Rebels, though, trying to take advantage of that call going against the shooter Van Wyck. Peter getting it out front, and Crater the save on Reese Hagenbart.
Boy, oh boy, she is something, isn't she? She's done a great job here for the Crimson.
It was actually a nice setup for Champlin Park. I didn't think there was necessarily going to be room to get that pass through, but they did, and Hagenbart was really right on the doorstep. One of the few times that Champlin Park's been really the aggressor there, and they'll be called as got the goggles off and all.
Get the hair back in place, and oh darn, that was not nice. There we go.
Olson now carrying it up the right side here for the Crimson. Oh, good recovery there on that pass that was behind. And they'll get things set up.
Nice move.
Rebels collapse and take that opportunity away, but then good patience.
Boy, they're always a threat to get it in that middle. They're looking for that all the time, and it's that secondary defense is really held tight for the Rebels.
And this time they get the pass through, and there is a goal buried by Van Wyck. Again, I like their spacing and timing on those cuts. Sometimes you'll see teams where people sort of just rotating through without a purpose really on their cuts, but they're kind of, using the spacing and the timing very nicely there, and not overloading with too many cutters too. Sometimes can be the right move to make as well.
Well, I like the fact too that they, the timing between those rushes through. Van Wyck will go through, and then somebody else will go through, and they just keep rotating it through. You got to be aware of what's going on at all times in your defensive zone if you're Champlin Park, and Maple Grove is just taking major advantage of it. And like you said earlier, it's the efficiency they're showing is incredibly good.
Off the draw, knocked away there from Hagenbart, but picked up by her teammate Schindelbeck. Schindelbeck with a run up the right side here.
This is a tough position for the Rebels. They've only been giving up about 4 goals per game, and boy, they have it 9 right now. That's probably got them taken aback a little bit.
Johnson trying to find some space to work with, but they stick with her. Couple good passes in tight here. Rail and a halo violation. So Rail will get an opportunity from the free position here for Champlin Park. And she buries it.
Boy, they need
Snuck that one up high, just over Crater.
Yeah, it looked like Crater was really looking at a bounce pass. That's what she was anticipating, and just went right over the right shoulder.
So Rail doing a good job converting there. And again, CP, they got to take advantage of the opportunities they get if they're going to get back in this one.
Hope to get a few more of those, but Maple Grove's defense has been very stingy, especially in the middle. Now, the other important factor here, Jay, is what's coming up here, the face-off. You can get yourself back into the game real quick by winning face-off, so these are going to be really, really important for Champlin Park.
Goal number 22 this year for Elena. And again, they're still down 6, but, you chip away. I mean, you feel like if by halftime, if they can get to within 3 or 4, they'd be feeling pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And
there we go.
Johnson taps that one to herself there. Ooh.
Yeah, that was a halo violation.
Ouch. Isaacson sent off there for Maple Grove.
We'll see if the Rebels can take advantage now. They really need it. They could use 2 to 3 more goals.
Pass getting away, but Schindelbeck runs it down. Johnson on the left side. They go down low. Peter putting it out front, and it just slipped away before they could really get that shot attempt.
Oh, nice pass.
Maple Grove with some numbers, but Van Wyck will hold it up, get things set up.
Get the penalty wiped out, get their player back, and then they'll go on the attack. Well, good ball movement there.
Making the Rebels chase a little bit too, get tired out.
It's not a bad idea with a 9-3 lead. Just run it out there, and no, they don't have to score again.
And as you said, waiting to get Isaacson back. And it frustrates the other team a little bit too when you're just kind of being able to play keep away a little bit.
Well, when it gets to this point, you try to let's start double teaming. Get on them and make them give up the ball. They're just holding in here and helping themselves, and Champlin has an advantage, and they're just not being aggressive on it. And there we go. Players back on. Now we'll see them go into attack mode.
Muscatello will drop it back. Now they get it out front. Oh, and there's a nice stop by Hagenbart.
Yeah. Low to high shot. She got her shoulder on it, bounced up, and got the rebound here. Nice save. Gonna need a few more like that.
Johnson getting it ahead now to Rail. Cottingham recovers here for the Rebels, and that pass up a little too high, but it's going to work out. Not by how they designed it, but here's Schindelbeck going to the net, and Crater stepped up to deny her.
Okay, she stepped up. She didn't sit back. She went out and went after, got that big basket up, and boy, stifled them. That just got to hurt the Rebels right now. They had a great opportunity.
Crimson looking to counter here. By their standards in this game, the pace has slowed for them a little bit here of late after they were kind of seemingly scoring at will for a bit there. And in part is that by design, as they were taking time off while they were players short.
Got a nice play here. She steps inside, but boy, Crater just stepped right up. Calm and cool, didn't let it bother. She looks a little relaxed right now.
Schindelbeck will be sent off here. So Maple Grove trying to take advantage.
Well, it's key for the Rebels here. They need to stop this now.
Did a good job denying the cutters on the first wave, but then stepping back out front was Van Curler to receive that pass. She wasn't open the first time through, but instead of just clearing out, she made a nice little pivot and presented herself as a good target out front and gets the goal. That was great patience, too, to not try to force it in there on the first occasion.
Yeah. I'm surprised at how open she was, oh my gosh.
Well, I kind of have the feeling, don't you think, that the defense thought she was clearing through, and then you sort of, out of sight, out of mind once she passes in front of you. And she just put the brakes on and found a little space to get to.
And that's where that goalie's got to help herself out by telling, hey, slot right now.
Big goal there for Maple Grove after Champlin Park had done a good job slowing their pace a little bit. Hagenbart getting it ahead now to Peter. Peter looking for a cutter, but it just doesn't quite connect. He will get it back, though, and another opportunity as we approach a minute. And there's Crater reading that one and coming out to steal it.
Boy, Crater's been impressive so far this half, Jay. She's really stepped up and played. She's really active.
Oh. Couldn't quite connect on that long pass across.
Boy, there's a big break for the Rebels right there.
Oh, and that back pass knocked down. Crimson might get another opportunity late in the half here after forcing that turnover. Good read. They get one more chance late here. A little pass off. And it bounces around, stayed out. And I believe the half will come to an end there. Yes, 10-3 lead for Maple Grove. An impressive first half on the road here for the Crimson. We'll have first half highlights and then our second half of lacrosse. Northwest Suburban Girls Lacrosse title on the line here tonight. And so far, Maple Grove leading Champlin Park 10-3.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Good start for that team. Maple Grove leading Champlin Park by a score of 10-3 at halftime here in our battle to decide the Northwest Suburban Conference title in girls lacrosse, as the Crimson pretty much controlled things in that opening half play as they got the first couple goals and kind of went from there. Champlin Park's had pockets of good opportunities, but not nearly enough.
Well, so far the Crimson are showing they're look like number one seed now. They want to do some things further on in sections and stuff, and they're showing how good they really are against one of the better teams in the conference.
Take a look at some of the scoring from this first half. Olsen, actually, that was one of the non-scoring ones. A nice save there. But then Maple Grove, great passing. Olsen slipping the pass over, and then this time she'll cut across. Van White working it over, and the turnaround by Dunn is good. That was goal number 2 of the night. Rebels counter here. They get on the board as Peter put it out front and Engstrom burying it. That made it 2-1 at the time, but then Maple Grove really had a stretch where they dominated. Van Wyk turning to score there. And then watch this quick release. Olsen just turn fire. No wasted motion at all. They get one here from Muscatello going low with it. And then Muscatello dropping the pass off. Olsen sliding it over, and Van Curler buries it. That might have been, all things considered, the best of the bunch in that first half. Just the great passing.
Well, on the angle that she scored on too, I'll tell you, but they're hitting it from everything, low, high, whatever. There's a nice shot right there, low, high.
Peter, after Crater tried to steal that one and didn't get it, and then bouncing through traffic to bury that one is Muscatello, and here's Van Wyk going up high with it there. And another nice cut and reception, and Van Wyk, a little tricky shot up high. Rail answering from the free position for the Rebels. But Maple Grove getting one more good chance, and Van Curler put it away right there. And so a 10-3 halftime advantage here for Maple Grove. Well, we'll see if Champlin Park's able to bounce back, facing a little adversity, which, let's face it, neither team has had all that much of this year. No. But I think Coach Johnson was eager to see, how would our girls respond if they do fall behind, and we're going to find out here in the second half. 10-3 Crimson. We'll be back to Champlin Park in just a moment here on CCX. Welcome back, Maple Grove and Sosie Van Wyk. They've played confident, aggressive, smart, all of those things to build a 10-3 lead now. They're looking for more of the same. Champlin Park, meanwhile, wants to kind of turn the tide a little bit and see if they can't chip away and get back in this.
Well, Maple Grove's playing for a little more respect here now, too. That's why they're really putting it on, and I've been very impressed, as you have, with the efficiency they've been playing their offense with.
Crimson wind up with it, but then one of the shorter passes they've attempted weren't on the same page. And loose ball here, and Johnson up with it, then was knocked down.
And she gets right back up, and let's play some more lacrosse. I like that.
Gunderson getting it back to Schindelbeck.
You notice how far out Maple Grove's coming out to play. They're playing some really tight defense, giving him no room to breathe.
Ooh, nice catch by Schindelbeck, but then denied by Crater. Does a good job of being aggressive.
Well, Crater's living up to her 3.10 goal against average. Boy, that for lacrosse, that's amazing.
Crimson again winning a loose ball here, and now they get into their offense.
Gee, what do you bet the ball's going to go in the middle here, Jay? Just a thought.
And they do a nice job too, but of starting from one side or the other. A lot of teams kind of fall into it. They don't even realize they're doing it, but they're always going the same way. And maybe when they go back and look at film, they realize it. But Maple Grove, I think, does a nice job of starting their attack from varying points too. That time didn't quite connect on the pass to the cutter.
Yeah, to your point, a lot of teams will yell right hand, right hand, right-handed, knowing that they're come work out of the right-hand side.
Wait, another thing Maple Grove's done well that, isn't always the first thing you think of, but contesting passes, just getting a piece of making a deflection here and there. This time they're unable to do that, though, as it gets to the front of the net, but and turned back away was Gunderson.
Wait, there's another area too. Maple Grove's done well at one-on-one ground balls. They really dominated that end of things.
Peter will restart here for the Rebels.
I wonder how much this Maple Grove defense will wear down Champlin. They kind of look a little pooped there.
Johnson goes to the net. Crater, though, making another stop. And a great outlet pass, and here come the Crimson. Van Curler.
Oh,
little
boy.
2-on-1. Olsen all alone and scores. Wow, that one went from end to end in a hurry, and Olsen buries it for Maple Grove.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, Coach Garati is just ecstatic. I mean, the way they have moved the ball has been totally impressive here. Wow.
Well, and the thing about it, too, is like right from the time that Crater got the ball, they were already thinking offense and up the field. And that's a pretty good team they're doing that against, too. I mean, this
Yes,
isn't
it
like
is.
they're scrimmaging their JV or anything. They moved that ball very nicely.
Well, Champlin Park has got a 3.38 goals against, Jay. 11 goals? Really? Wow. That just goes to the statement that Maple Grove is really good. Now I'll be interested to see what happens in sections now, how far they can go.
Maple Grove had that 7-goal halftime lead, and you kind of had the feeling that Champlin Park was going to need to come out and show something right away, and instead it's Maple Grove getting that goal.
I love the consistency of all the Maple Grove players. They're all participating. They're all moving the ball. It's not one or two people. They've shown that resiliency, and that's a sign of a really good team that can do things here, especially in the postseason.
Down low. Oh, that one off the frame. Just a near miss there for the Crimson after another good passing play. The outside of the goalpost there.
Well, Paige Hagenbart was there. She did a nice job holding it off. Forced it onto the pipe.
Johnson up with it here for the Rebels. Peter, and they can't quite control it though, and it'll be Maple Grove possession.
Boy, they've really shut down Anderson quite a bit for the Rebels. Crimson have really done a nice job.
Maple Grove back attacking here. Not for long though, as the Rebels get the takeaway. Schindelbeck. Now they'll get their offense set. Swing it to the top here. Now Johnson. Yeah, they've made it their mission to make it very tough on Annabelle Johnson tonight.
Yeah, and she moves to a slide, always comes in too. Oh, nice poke check. Oh.
Coughlin will be called though.
Boy, Johnson was looking for an opening there.
Johnson drops that pass off. Schindelbeck trying to turn and shoot, but too many defenders there. And that pass into the middle.
Nice defensive play by the Crimson there. Boy, just followed that player right through that was running through the slot there.
Moving upfield here, Van Wyk gaining control on that pass. Gets the return here, and they'll work it from the top now with Coughlin. Send the cutter through. Rebels are ready for it. Olsen flicking the pass out front. Van Wyk with a turnaround, but was bothered on that shot, and it's too high.
Boy, she got a nice job of getting open and really turning and firing it after she got it.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of room there. I was surprised that one got through. And this one does not get through, and Johnson comes up with it. Now to Peter. Peter sending it ahead, but too high there for Reese Hagenbart. Crater almost gave it away there. And the Rebels will end up with it as Peter. Rail, who had a goal earlier for Champlin Park, is turned back.
Boy, the Crimson's defense is just stingy.
Out front it comes, and there's a turnaround try by Schindelbeck, but Crater making another stop.
That was a nice setup.
That intercepted by Ehrlichman. But then they'll turn it back over, maybe not. Nope, Peter comes up with it. Flicks it out front, shot and a goal. There's Annabelle Johnson getting on the board on the feed from Peter.
Well, she could feel the heat. You could see how fast she got rid of it once she had it. She knew that they were coming. Boy, they needed that goal.
So the Rebels to within 7 after kind of a scramble there, and then watch Peter. Good timing as she waits for the opening there, and good job by Johnson to get rid of it quickly. Again, she has not had much room to work with tonight. They have had a target on her.
Yeah, she's probably sick and tired of looking at maroon and black in front of her all day. Well, if the Rebels can capitalize now, maybe punch a couple more in after winning some faceoffs, be back in this game.
And they will end up with it here as Johnson up that left side. Yeah, this wasn't far from over at 7 goals. I mean, the trend hasn't necessarily looked good, but they could get a couple more and be right back in this.
Do we have a halo violation there?
It looks like it must be, yeah. Oh, looks like it's going to be called against Crater.
Yeah. Whoa, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so they'll pull another player off to.
Isaacson will serve it.
Good opportunity here for the Rebels now.
Got yet more discussion to go here.
Coach Garati of Maple Grove is kind of asking for a further explanation. Well, the referee is definite there. I saw no about 3 times. Nope.
I think Maple Grove got the answer they're looking for there, but eventually you kind of just have to say, all right, we've had our talk, let's go.
You know, in all these sports that you and I have done, I don't think I've seen a ref change their call once. All right, good opportunity here for the Rebels now. They got to start cashing in on some of this stuff.
Quick passing there, but then the center and try knocked down. And Crater quickly gets it out of there.
Okay, another halo violation.
And Kudla will restart it here. Kind of sense a little more urgency from Champlin Park now. They are really coming up a little more aggressively, trying to force the ball out of players' hands a little bit more.
Boy, some good moves and speed there. Just ran it out of trouble.
Van Wyk will drop it to Olson. The Rebels not content to just let him work it around nearly as much as they were earlier. And Maple Grove's a player down here, so they're not going to be in any hurry.
It's just nice to see how polished these kids are from Maple Grove. They're just not in any hurry. They're playing it smart and using their heads.
Van Wyk will drop that pass off and then get it right back. Boy, for them right now, they'd like to eat up some time, tire Champlin Park out, and then finish it with a nice goal at the end. That would be their ideal sequence here.
But they're going to look for and create a really good scoring opportunity, and they've done that very well tonight, too. I've been very impressed with the goals that they've scored have been really nicely played.
Ooh, there's a nice block of that pass by Schindelbeck. Van Wyk getting that pass out. Now she'll get a return.
It shows you that it is so hard to chase and come back from behind in this game when, boy, they can control the ball as well as the Crimson have here.
Ooh, and there's a tumble to the turf there as Dunn tried to cut between defenders.
But there's no contact in girls sports, in girls lacrosse, no. So, free position.
Dunn trying to bounce it in, and instead it winds up with Olson. Pass out front was deflected. Rebels, good job defensively that time, and here comes Annabelle Johnson up the right side.
Ooh, nice pickup there.
Schindelbeck, good catch. She's got some good wheels, drops the pass off. Oh, and Crater, a great stop on Reese Hagenbart there.
Yeah, we don't talk about goaltenders very much in lacrosse. Crater's done a great job. They just got outnumbered in front there.
Reese Hagenbart will convert on the pass from Peter, as first time was denied, but second one able to put it in.
Rebels aren't giving up yet, boy. They're playing hard and getting an opportunity here. Nice play. Very nice play there.
Peter finding Hagenbard, who is one of the taller Rebels, able to give a good target out front.
34th goal of the year. Did a real nice job. Freshman. Wow.
Hard to see if they're going to have time to come all the way back, but I would say Champlin Park has to be encouraged with the way they're making a game of this here in the second half.
Absolutely.
There was a time when it really was kind of all Maple Grove, but not anymore, or not lately anyway. Oh, Crater with another interception. She got burned once trying that, but has made about 3 others really work to her benefit.
She's not backing off, is she, even though she made one mistake, I'll tell you. I love it.
Maple Grove looking to counter, and you wonder for them if they're going to maybe put their foot back on the gas a little bit more here. They've been kind of, treading water, taking some time and all that, which is smart. Here's Van Wyk going to the net, and she will bury that one. She was like, okay, we've had enough of these CP goals.
Funny how you called it one right out of the book, and bang, they went down and did it. That was a nice play. That was just an establishment of, we're good, and sorry, guys, we've been kind of goofing off here. Now we're going to get serious about it. Nice high-low shot, too. That's just so tough to stop.
So Crimson restore their 7-goal lead now. Each team has scored twice here in the second half as Maple Grove was up 10-3 at halftime. Timeout taken here.
Oh boy.
Van Wyk having a strong performance here this evening and
getting into some of the tunes that are getting played here. It's a good spot for a timeout. Champlin Park to get reestablished here and just kind of calm down, take it 1 goal at a time. Like I said, probably not going to come back all the way, but it's important to establish here because section seedings are coming up. Get an idea there. Maple Grove rated number 7 at 12-0. But you can see the lineup in front of them. The only team from the Northwest Suburban Conference in the top 10. I might have made an argument for Champlin Park there, especially looking at a 7-5 and 7-4 record, but it'll all wash itself out here in the sections because to get there you got to beat everybody.
And I will say this, I think it maybe it shouldn't be, but it is based somewhat on past as well. And the Northwest Suburban, in general, the teams haven't gone deep into the state playoffs.
No, you're right, absolutely, both boys and girls.
It's I think it's fair to say that they started in this part of town started a little behind a couple of other areas of the metro in terms of lacrosse and have been kind of playing catch up a little bit.
Yep. You got to let your youth leagues catch up and start giving you some skilled players that by the time they get to high school they can play at that level, and some of them be outstanding players at that level, which the West and South certainly have done. But so far, you got to admit, Jay, that Maple Grove has looked really good. Can they pull that off against, the better teams out west?
Yeah, it will be kind of interesting to see. I mean, you see Vanilde had the 2 losses, but might they still be seated ahead of the Crimson? Possibly.
Yeah, more than likely they will be, but got some good teams. Lakeville South, Prior Lake, Edina.
Johnson controlling it here for Champlin Park. Gets it out front to Schindelbeck and fires and scores. Looked like her first shot was going to be blocked, so she kind of kept possession and is able to slide it home. And nice goal there for Lauren Schindelbeck.
Yeah. They're pretty aggressive. They're not quitting on this. They're going to keep going here. Let's see what happens. Comes down to winning some faceoffs here, but a nice play, and boy, she made sure once she got it open there and just went high-low into the corner there.
And she didn't panic when the first, right there, when it was her first attempt was, kind of denied there, but just slid her stick over a little bit, got a little better angle, and put it away.
She did a little look-off, too, to the right there, and I think maybe that, and she came back to the near corner. I think that caused the goalie to kind of look to the other side.
Kind of feels like for Champlin Park, too. I mean, sometimes once you fall behind, the pressure goes off a little bit and you relax a little bit, and that's sort of how it looks in the second half.
You can get a little more loose. I mean, there was a lot riding on this game, as far as number 1 seeds, conference championship. And we can certainly say the Crimson have answered the call so far. Boy, talk about sucking the momentum out of a team. Just Maple Grove controlling it back here, too. Like, well, okay, you got your goal, but now you got to get the ball back. I would expect they're going to start bringing some double teams here pretty quick because they can't let Maple Grove do this all day.
Ooh, instead, Ehrlichman fell down. Van Wyk trying to advance it there and then chase back out.
That was interesting. Pulled it back. Control, control, control. They know they don't have to score another goal. They just got to control the ball. Smart play. Ooh.
Shrugged off the defender there.
Left her sneakers laying in the turf there.
Out front it comes to Olsen, and she'll tuck it away up high.
Whoa, pretty. The assist is what made it there, though. That was just really a nice play. Ella Olsen just stood by. She came out front as it came open to her, and they got her the ball. And when she gets it there, she don't make no mistakes.
See the good job by Muscatello here.
Yeah.
Just kind of drawing the D to her, and then
yeah, they caught Champlin's number 29 in between. Who do I cover? Do I come out and cover the person out front, or do I cover her? And they found the open person once she made a decision.
And Olsen, being a good left-hand shooter there, helped too. Otherwise, that would have been a tough angle to score from.
That is a great point, Jay. Great point. I just like the way the confidence she carries with herself, too. It's like, okay, fine. This is what I do.
Johnson up with it here for Champlin Park. They are down by 7. Have come out better in this second half, but still find themselves in quite a hole. Out front it comes. Here's a turnaround try. Crater got a piece of that one.
Somebody got a piece of Miss Johnson
yes.
too.
To the front, and that turnaround try went off the goalpost, I believe. Schindelbeck put pass, now it bounces back toward rail and scooped up instead by Engstrom, who scored the first goal of the night for CP. And, ooh, that was a pass, but it almost snuck in.
Yeah. Kind of caught Crater by surprise there.
A call going against Maple Grove, though, so Champlin Park will get it back. Annabelle Johnson. Pass was blocked. It came right back to her. Quick hands by both players there.
Yeah.
And out front for Rail, and she rips that one home. Champlin Park starting to show why they have had such a good season as well. First pass denied. They go again, and Rail turns and buries it. (13-7) now as Elena Rail getting her second of the night. And Rebels, I think this is important for them to, kind of rebuild their confidence down the stretch of this game, even though, like we said, probably too far behind to catch fully up. But I think if they had, if it had stayed where they weren't doing much and they'd kind of been getting dominated, I think that would have hurt a lot more going into the playoffs.
I agree. Yeah, you want to use this kind of a confidence booster to get dominated the way they did in the first half, and then to fight back like they have been there. They needed to do this. Okay, getting an explanation. Oh, they're having a clock issue.
Yeah. It's kind of reinforcing what the signal means when it should be starting.
It's too bad. You kind of, when you're at Champlin Park's home, you kind of hold off starting the clock when you're behind. Give yourself a chance, but we know that doesn't happen at all.
Crimson possession here, and you see Champlin Park's coming a lot more aggressive now, trying to make things happen.
Well, that's one way to break it. Nice play. This ball movement by the Crimson has been the key to them the whole game. They've been very efficient, like we've said so many times. And it's fun to watch. Not if you're a Champlin Park fan, but
looking down low, Van Wyk is all alone, but missed the net there. Crimson will keep possession here.
Well, Hagenbach was trailing that one, or following that one really good, the goalie for Champlin Park.
Van Wyk controlling. Crimson a little bit bigger team overall too, and I think at times they've used that to their advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Van Wyk trying to make him chase. And Curler losing it there. That call going against the Rebels.
It's all right. The Rebels want to be aggressive here, so if you get a few calls like that, no big deal. You'd rather have it that way than just sitting back and kind of taking it. Oh, nice check there.
Chopped away, but Crimson recovered. And then Johnson will be called there.
So many times we talk about the one-on-one games that go on in, between hockey and lacrosse, and they're so important. The more ground balls or one-on-ones you win, the better chance you have of winning.
Van Wyk keeps it moving and eating up time. Push call there against the Rebels. There again, Van Wyk just kind of turning her back and trying to make the player come through her.
Here comes the double team right now.
Got the pass away. And the next one, though, was blocked. Oh, and that'll be a trip, yep.
Yep. All right, now we got to have some fast break. They got to go. They got to move.
Schindelbeck, probably one of the quickest of the Rebels, advancing the ball upfield here. Jurasek looking out front. That one was deflected, and then they shovel it over toward Crater.
Boy, notice Crimson been really good with those stick checks and knocking down passes and stuff. You don't see a lot of that, and boy, they've done a really good job today of that.
And work it back, find an opening. Van Wyk now receiving as Maple Grove has succeeded in eating up a good chunk of time down the stretch here. They still lead by 6. They're up 10-3 at halftime. It's been a more even second half. The Rebels certainly have come alive some here, but Maple Grove has still kind of stayed in control.
Well, they've outscored Maple Grove 4-3 this half, but boy, that isn't going to get it done after the lead that the Crimson put up. And I think, like you said too, they kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit on the Rebels.
Just a long possession here and then knocked away, and finally the Rebels will force a turnover. But then that pass knocked down again. They not conceding many passes really in any area of the field.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that surprised me a lot about the Crimson, Jay, how well they play defense, man. They just in your face all the time, very aggressive. You can see how all that playing that defense is really going to start working on people and getting them tired.
Johnson looking for space, and then a float over the top. Gonna be Maple Grove ball, it looks like. Yep.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
They'll give it over to Crater as we go under 2 minutes to play here. Maple Grove is going to win the Northwest Suburban title, it looks like. Stay undefeated throughout the regular season.
And definitely looking like the best team in the conference, no question about it. They have had a dominating performance here.
Van Wyk.
You know, I like the fact too, they're just holding the ball. They're not making any attempt to score, really.
Van Wyk just playing keep away there. Johnson trying to knock it free. See, we're under a minute to play now. Van Wyk. This is another thing that's nice to be able to have a game situation to practice this in case in the playoffs you got a little, lead to protect.
Yeah.
Work on it in a game like this to be ready for that scenario if it comes up in the section semis or finals or whatnot.
Well, what's interesting to me, this is not a bad team they're playing. This is not a lower half of the conference team they're playing to, and there's no question who the better team is here. Here it is, Maple Grove by a long shot. We'll see how they do outside the conference in the sections.
So Maple Grove is going to hang on to hold out the win, and they will celebrate a conference championship and an undefeated regular season as they go out and mob their goalie, who really played a great game too, Emma Crater. That was kind of like almost a secondary factor to the great offense they had early, but she made some really big saves.
She made at least 4 big saves that could have turned the difference, which would have made it a 13-11, and I'll tell you what, she did a great job, but wow, what a performance by the Crimson.
And the updated standings there show that they will finish it out at 12-0 to be the conference champions, and Champlin Park, very strong step forward this season, though for them 11-1 in conference play, and they figure to be the number 1 seed in Section 7, possibly a slightly easier road for them than Maple Grove in terms of playoff section. But best of luck to both of these teams as they look to advance through their section and on to state. Hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight. It is Maple Grove defeating Champlin Park to win the Northwest Suburban Conference title. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Champlin Park High School.